All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99 back with another quick video. All right, y'all, back with a real quick pre-fight keys to victory for this one. I know we talked about it in the live stream a few days ago, but I just wanted to kind of give my keys to victory on this one because I know a lot of people are looking at this fight as like a 50-50 fight, and it pretty much is, even though it tends to lean more towards Amanda Lemos, but in a lot of ways it's 50-50 because there's been some bad choices that these fighters have made in the past in certain fights. You know, when we see certain strengths in them and we be like, oh man, why don't they just go ahead and do this, you know, whenever they have that particular strength, right? Or there's certain things that haven't worked on. So I kind of wanted to go through my keys to victory and what I think Lemos and Dern needs to do in this one, because I think this could kind of be Dern's last chance, I think, to really be taken seriously as like a top contender. You know what I mean? Like, she's going to have to really look good in this fight, and she's going to have to go in there and neutralize power and show us some defensive skills as well, man. Like, she's really got to show us that if you want to get to that next level and be a title challenger. Same goes with Amanda Lemos. You know, if Amanda Lemos wants to get a rematch against Zhang Weili and showcase that she's improved and she's learned her lesson, I mean, we got to see something different. I mean, we can't see this fight go 3 rounds. And that goes for both fighters. Like, we can't see this fight go 3 rounds. Like, it's got to end in some type of stoppage or like a submission win for Dern or Lemos here. You know, they got to look like they mean business this time, and you know, they're not just a little tentative to do what they to do what they're known to do, or you know, go in there and kind of sit back and wait for somebody to dictate the pace or wait for the knockout. They can't do that. I think both fighters, they got to really go after it, man. I think for Amanda Lemos, we all know she's got the better boxing, right? You know, she's definitely got the better hands, you know, the straighter hands. She's got more power, right? But her downfall in the past, to me, has been like her movement on her feet, right? I mean, if you go back and look at the fight with Jessica Andrade, you know, took one little kick, you know, threw a right hand and boom, you know, threw a couple of kicks on Andrade, threw a right hand, and boom, she got caught, right? You know, to me, in this fight with Dern, she's got to be lighter on her feet. You know, she's got to be in and out. You know, she's got to use angles. I mean, the blueprint is there. If you look at Jan Jana, Marina Rodriguez, you know, she has to be able to dictate the pace on the feet, you know, to measure and find her range and throw those straight punches. So to me, I think that's number one, you know, is her footwork. Another thing is using the jab. Like, Mackenzie Dern doesn't really have any head movement. So Lemos, who has straighter punches, throwing, you know, a nice rhythmic jab, throwing it off rhythm at times, you know, just throwing it straight down the pipe every time Mackenzie Dern steps in, you know, that'll kind of frustrate Dern, and it'll set up a beautiful right hand as well, you know. So basically just some real textbook stuff for Amanda Lemos. The things that she possesses is really what she just needs to use. It's kind of like what she had in the Weili fight. You know, if she would have moved around a little bit more on her feet and not planted too much and looked for the knockout, she would have been fine. So to me, it's footwork, straight punches in the jab, and don't look for the knockout. Let the knockout come to her. You know, let the knockout come to her, because same with Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade didn't really have to hunt for the knockout against Dern. You know, Dern set herself up to be knocked out. You know, she was putting her chin right there, and Andrade just threw 50% of the power, and boom, she dropped her like 4 times in the fight. You know, so same thing goes here. I think Lemos just needs to sit back, let the knockout come to her. For Mackenzie Dern, I think Mackenzie Dern, you know, she has some decent hands now. The thing is, she gets a little overexcited with them. Like, she knows how to throw punches, but she's been throwing her weight into her punches, and it throws her off balance. You know what I mean? Like, she'll come blitzing in and running in behind two or three combinations, and she'll almost like trip over herself. You know, that's something I've always been talking about. So if she slows the pace down and she throws long punches, she could have success here. So I think for her, Mackenzie Dern, she might be a little bit slower, I think, when it comes to pulling the trigger. So I think it'd be wise for Mackenzie Dern to fight off her long jab, you know, as far as timing. She's going to have to use timing, all right? Using the timing, throwing a longer jab, keeping her chin tucked. That's number 2. You know, throw her long jab, tuck her chin, and that'll set up the overhand right. All right, you know, just throwing her jabs, and she can set up the overhand right, because, you know, her right hand is not as straight. She can throw a straight right hand, but not like Amanda Lemos. Her thing should be throwing the overhand right to kind of throw that over the jab of Amanda Lemos. Next, I think overall, I think she doesn't really need to be standing for long periods of time with Lemos. She needs to be fighting that physical fight on the cage. She needs to smother the power of Amanda Lemos and be physical on the cage. And I mean, she's going to have to tie up, use like a tie clinch, and throw some serious knees to Lemos's body. You know, keep her pinned to the cage, throw elbows, and just really maul and rough up Lemos on the cage. You know, use use the youth she has on her side till finally she can trip her and take her down and just get that top position and maul and look for that submission win, that armbar, you know, that textbook armbar when she gets that full mount. And really trying to wrestle this time. Like, I'm hoping that they did have a chance to work. I know they didn't have a full camp here, but for Dern, I'm hoping for her sake that they did really try to work mostly on wrestling, because she said it herself, oh, I'm going to have to mimic Wei Li, or I'm going to have to be Khabib this time. I mean, really? I don't think she can mimic them off of this shorter camp, but she will have to be physical, and she will have to use some type of wrestling base that she's learned in the past, you know? So, yeah, for Dern, that's what she needs to do. Keep her chin tucked, throw her long punches, you know, as she gets Lemos's timing down, and really just wrestle her way in and wrestle this fight to the ground. You know, don't just dive in and grab and hope for the best. No, because that's a good way to get knocked out. So really, those are the things I think Lemos and Dern needs to do leading into this fight. For me, I think Amanda Lemos, she's learned a lot from her last fights, and she's really been working on her takedown defense. And honestly, I don't think Dern has the ability to take her down and keep her down like Wei Li did. Because, again, we underestimate Amanda Lemos' jiu-jitsu and her takedown defense against just the average opponent, right? So I think she has the ability to get back to her feet against whatever Dern throws at her. And I think she'll turn some angles here, and she'll find the chin of Mackenzie Dern early, and she'll probably get her out of there, man. If she doesn't get her out of there in 2, you know, I think she probably will kind of bust her up maybe to a decision, or the corner might have to stop it, man, because I really don't think Dern has had that much time to improve the defense and fight at a much more disciplined striking pace. Like, I think she'll still get excited in this one. Now, if Dern gets to fight to the ground, will she be able to drown Lemos? She's gonna have to use that size and weight, and she's gonna have to use that ground and pound that she used on Angela Hill. And if she can pin Lemos on her back, it's a possibility. Like, if her strength is like that and she's feeling that next level like she did in the Angela Hill fight, which I don't know if she is, because you know, she was on one in that fight. Let's be real. She was on one because she was thinking about some other things and where her paycheck was going. So, you know, she was heated in that fight. But I don't know if she's going to come in as heated against Lemos. So I got to lean towards Lemos. And there's some possibly like a mid-round finish, like second round or in the third. But, yeah, I think Mackenzie Dern is going to be eating some heavy shots again. What do y'all think, guys? Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.